Every week on AFTV Picks, we give away £1,000. And all you've got to do is enter our free-to-play competition and go head-to-head with me, win it, and this could be yours. Get involved right now, click the link in the description, and you can play, and it's absolutely free. All you have to do is be over 18 and have some decent football knowledge. So what are you waiting for? Get involved now and you can win yourself £1,000. Hi and welcome along to AFTV News Daily. Thanks for coming on board tonight. Just ahead of the weekend, we got a packed show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the positive news regarding Balogun. We're also going to be touching on the big game of the weekend, Arsenal taking on Leeds United. It's a big game for Arsenal. Joining me, I've got James. How you doing, James?
Robbie?
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, you're talking and your lips weren't even moving then. That's a trick.
Oh, sorry.
No, it is now.
Wow. I've got a talent I didn't know about.
You got ventriloquist. And also joined tonight by a very special guest. We've got Connor, who's from the One Leeds channel. How you doing, Connor?
All right, mate. I'm better to be on this fantastic channel. Yeah, how are you guys? All right.
Yeah, good. Looking forward to the game. You know, we're going to start off with this. The Leeds game. Arsenal versus Leeds. When we played you at Ellen Road, it was packed with incident. Of course, Pepe got sent off in that game. And we went down to 10 men, and you absolutely peppered us. I thought we got very lucky that day getting out there with a draw. But this game should be a really good game. I was impressed with Leeds on Monday against Crystal Palace. He had a very good win in that game. What sort of Leeds do you expect to turn up at the Emirates on Sunday?
A confident one, Rob. I know we're just doing something on my channel as well with regards to it, but a very confident Leeds at this moment in time. We seem to have figured out the Premier League. I think last time we spoke, we were talking about sort of leaky Leeds and having a bit of a defensive drama, really. I think it was us getting used to the Premier League. We've got our two fit centre backs which are out, but we seem to have a good partnership in Pascal Struijk and Liam Cooper now. We've only conceded 5 goals in 5 games, so we seem to just be adapting to the Premier League right now. You know, Everton beat us; they didn't deserve it at all, and we've gone away to Leicester and thoroughly deserved to beat Leicester as well. So we're looking good at this moment in time, Rob. I'm relaxed. I'll be honest, Rob. I'm relaxed. I'm sitting here on my chair now and I'm leaning back. I really am.
See that, James? Relaxed.
Yeah, I don't feel that way. I feel very upright. I feel very tense. I feel a bit nervous, can't lie.
I mean, yeah. Leeds have got this all-attacking style that they've been adopting for the whole of the season. They don't change under Bielsa. As a Leeds fan, have you enjoyed watching it?
Yeah, it didn't get much better, Rob. Do you know what? I watched Man City Liverpool last weekend. It was the first half, and I thought, this is boring. I'm bored. And the reason behind that is because even when we lose, we still watch continuously unbelievable football. And it's not, even if, as I said, even if we don't win, it's entertaining. The Everton game was absolutely brilliant. We lost 2-1, but it's just a gunslinger match. It's one way, then the other. And it's fantastic to watch. And I'd rather that than anything else at the minute. But what he's done, Rob, with this side, I mean, we finished the game against Leicester with 11 Championship players. None of our new players were there. They're all injured or they're out for whatever reason. But what he's doing, we've got 10 consistent Championship players in this side every week, and we're 10th with a game in hand on you boys. You know what I mean? What he's doing is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. What have you made of their style, James?
I love it. I've got to be honest, I love it. I've seen a lot of people in the media, YouTubers, fans, whoever saying, why does Bielsa get so much praise when they just get spanked 6-2 at Old Trafford? But I think that's you're looking at the situation in too sort of micro a manner, right? If you play like that Old Trafford, right, you lose, but you're still practicing the same rhythms and the same patterns, that when you go to Leicester, you can smack them up 3-1 in their backyard. And there's nothing really in it between Leicester and United. So sometimes it goes for you, sometimes it doesn't. I love the football they play. And look, let's be honest, right? And I mean absolutely no disrespect when I say this. When Leeds have just come up from the Championship, go gung-ho, enjoy it, have a go. You're back in the Prem, and you know what? They're mid-table and beating good sides, and that's brilliant. Maybe an Arsenal couldn't go gung-ho and get smacked 6-2. There'd probably be a bit more of an inquest. But for now, I think it's brilliant. I love the football they're playing, and I absolutely mean that in the most complimentary of ways. I think they're doing the right thing, and it's great.
Are you guys a bit open though with that style, Connor? It's all out attack, man-to-man marking. Are you, because when you've come up against some of the bigger boys with that style, you know, I'm thinking the Liverpool game. I'm thinking, like you said, the 6. Which game was that? With the 6-2?
Oh, do you have to mention them? Do you have to mention them?
You know, United. You know, I mean, there's been some times when you've been too open.
Yeah, definitely. No, you're right, and I think it was a big concern. You look at the start of the season: 4-1 Palace, 4-1 Leicester, 6-2 Man United, 3-0 Spurs. So yeah, there are holes in this game, and I think, you know, I was saying to Rob earlier that Partey'd have been perfect for this game because he's press resistant and he's very good on the ball in the midfield. So he'd be able to get past that man-for-man system. And when you do that, Leeds are massively open. The good thing what we've done now, though, is we've got a bit of consistency at the back. Injuries haven't been as bad. And as I've just said, we've got a back four now that has been that back four for sort of the past 7-8 weeks now. And, you know, you look at the last 5 games, we've only conceded 5 goals. Arsenal have conceded 5 goals in the last 5 games as well. So I do think the narrative for Leeds is we're open, we can't defend, but we've also got more clean sheets than Spurs and Liverpool. So it's not all bad. You know, we are coming together. And I think the dangerous thing is with us next year, if we add 3 or 4 high caliber players, which I know the club are looking at doing, we're going to be a serious threat in this division.
Happy days for Leeds fans. You got any stats around the games there, James?
Well, around this game in particular?
Yeah.
No, I'm worried. No, sorry. I'll be honest. I mean, I was looking into it. I mean, the thing that really struck me, I think I've got it here. I love that. Even when I'm not even prepped for stats, I've got something here. I thought this was fascinating about Leeds. Have I got it right here? Yes. So they scored 16 goals at home and 16 goals away. You've also scored 22 goals at home and 22 goals away. So you've got a goal difference of 0 across both your home and away games. I mean, it's phenomenal consistency. Even like you batter teams, you get battered. It kind of all evens out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird one, really. I
mean, that is a genuinely remarkable stat. I was gonna use it in our show on Sunday morning, but I mean, it's really amazing. And I guess that my kind of follow-on question to that is, you know, do Leeds fans? How do I phrase this right? Do you care? Is basically what I'm going to say. If you lose 4-0, because you know you're probably going to win 5-1 the week after.
I'll be honest with you, James. When it was Manchester United 4, Leeds United 0 inside 29 minutes, and it's the first time we played them in 16 years and we can't stand them, there was a lot of fans at that point who were like, this is painful. This is painful. Right. Okay. But the next 2 games were very good results. Very, very good results. And that's the thing with Bielsa. You know, it seems to be any time the backs are up against the wall, he always comes out and gets a result, and then we go on a little bit of a run, and that happens every single time. And I think it's been difficult for fans because we've been in this mentality over the past 2 years, really, because we've been in the Championship winning every single game. As fans, we've had to adapt. We're in the Premier League. We're going to lose games. You know, the big clubs are going to beat us. But if I always say, if it's a boxing match over 2 legs, Everton, for example, we've won on points. Leicester, potentially we've won on points as well, and we beat everybody in and around us consistently apart from Brighton. So we can't really complain, James, if I'm honest with you, mate.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something though. I've seen Arsenal over the years like that, and you know, you beat them on points, but you get knocked out still. You know what I mean? You're winning on points, and there's a knockout blow. You know what I mean? So it doesn't always work out. I like this comment that's come in. It says Connor kind of looks like Alioski.
Oh, that mate, Robbie, do you know what I've had, mate? All I get constantly is Grealish, and it's the barbers. I need them open rapidly, mate.
We're all feeling that.
Oh, it looks, and Abraham says Pepe's going to smoke that waste man, Alioski. Of course, Alioski came out with some comments saying that he's looking forward to meeting up with his old mate Pepe again. Very funny what he said there. Of course, in that last game, Pepe sent off for headbutting. Well, head touching. I don't even know what a headbutting, head touching Alioski. Then Alioski went down like he'd been machine gunned with a Uzi or something like that. I mean, but that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. And Alioski's sort of come out, and it was actually Patrick Bamford on our official podcast, Leeds United's podcast, and he said that, you know, Alioski's essentially turned around and said that he can't wait to play his mate Pepe again. But Alioski's, I'll be honest with you two, he's got a bit of a screw loose. He's a bit of a nutter, and that's what he is. He's a complete wind-up merchant, and I think we saw it in full effect against Pepe. He clearly said something to him, and it was a bit of the Zinedine Zidane, Marco Materazzi effect, wasn't it? Where he just headbutted. No,
hold on. That was a proper headbutt.
Yeah, straight.
That was a proper headbutt. No,
at least he meant that one. That was, you know.
Yeah, but he knew exactly what he was doing, and you could see him. And I think as well, the frustrating thing is, with the man marking system, Leeds are consistently on you. They don't give you a minute's rest. You know, it's the pressure, you're getting forced back, and you could see that with Alioski. They highlighted it at half time. He was all over Pepe consistently, even if it was niggles in the back. And that's what you'll get with Leeds, because we are the fittest team in the league. And I think it was a little bit of a surprise to Pepe that you've got this annoying player who keeps coming back, keeps chirping in his ear and keeps kicking him around the ankles. And Alioski did get the better of him. And hopefully for Pepe's sake, he doesn't get drawn into it again, because something similar will happen, because that's what Alioski's all about.
Yeah, I think the one thing, though, that Pepe that played against you is a different Pepe at the moment. Pepe has actually been, over the last few games, been performing very, very well. And I think he'll be, you know, if he does play at the weekend, he will be a very, very dangerous player in that game. Here's one for you, Connor. Yeah. Is Calvin Phillips fit? Now, he's like, you know, the guy that makes it all tick for you guys in midfield. Is he fit? I saw him limping off in a game against Crystal Palace. Will he be back?
So our lead journalist, Phil Hay, who your equivalent's probably Ornstein, isn't it? He's come out today and said that he's doubtful. I think me and Robbie were having a little bit of a laugh that anytime someone's doubtful against Arsenal, they seem to prevail and get through. So that's
that magic cure turns up.
So I still think, to be honest, there's sort of a 60-40 that he will play. But touching on Calvin Phillips' importance, he's absolutely massive. If Calvin Phillips is out of this game, the whole system, because, you know, Leeds don't have those world-class players everywhere. We've probably got one in the entire squad. It's a sum of our parts. And if you take Calvin Phillips out of that component, it becomes a much weaker machine. And yeah, if he's out, then I'm a little bit more worried.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you about something else, Connor.
Yep.
I'm sort of throwing this on you, but it came up in Arteta's press conference today. And I had no idea what they were talking about, but it came up. So I wanted to ask you, what is murder ball? I just did some reading on it. I mean, it sounds incredible. Tell the audience, because I was blown away by it.
So from what we gather, it's been a sort of 2-year process now. And for what happens is, for I think it's either 90 or 100 minutes, the ball doesn't stop going in. So there's no throw-ins. There's no anything. There's no free kicks, and it's consistent play. So the ball is
in training. It's like a training match.
Yeah, so they'll do it once a week, and the ball is consistently in play. You've got Bielsa and his staff dotted around the pitch. There's about 6 or 7 of them screaming at the players to continue, keep the ball moving, and the ball doesn't go out of play. They will not let it go out of play for 90 to, I think it's 110 or 115 minutes. And that's murder ball. They do it every week, and they reckon it's absolutely hideous.
Do you imagine imagine Mesut Ozil playing in that game?
Do you know what though, Rob? Mesut Ozil is a world-class player, but because of Leeds' fitness regime, we can't have that many world-class players because they wouldn't buy into it. And that's why previously with Bielsa at Bilbao and at Marseille and at these clubs, it hasn't happened, because they will not buy into what he's doing. And with Leeds at this moment in time, he's got championship players playing in this elite system.
I've got to say, if it's right. I mean, if I turn up to training, they said, right, we're gonna basically, non-stop 115 minutes. You're gonna get screamed at for the whole time. I wouldn't know what to think. I mean, the guy's lost his mind. He's a psychopath, but it works. Clearly, look at the table. It works.
Yeah.
Mad. Anyway, I had to ask you about that because it came up today, and I thought, well, I've learned something new. I mean, murder ball. That's what it's called.
That's it. Murder ball. Yeah.
Wow.
Lewis says, Connor, would you accept playing a more defensive style if it means competing for Europe?
No.
Because the thing is, right? I'm gonna, caution you slightly, right? So you've come up. It's been a great season, I feel, for Leeds so far. You won't go down. You played some great football. Everybody's been admiring your style of play. That's a bit like Sheffield United last year. Everyone was admiring their style of play, and everyone was admiring their manager, and it was taught that he should get manager of the season and stuff like that. And he hasn't changed his style. He's tried to go with the same sort of championship type players. Just add a few here and there. Yeah. Same philosophy. And this season, they've been horrendous. And what happens is when you come up to this league is that teams start to work you out. So, next season, they'll be like, well, you know what? We've worked out a way to play against Leeds. So do you think he's going to have to change up, or do you think he'll just continue on in that style until it just crashes or burns?
I envisage,
always successful.
I envisage a Leeds team with 4 or 5 elite footballers playing in this system next year, and not 10 championship players week in, week out. And I think when that happens, I'll be really interested to see how this system adapts in the Premier League, because right now it's going very, very well. Like you say, Sheffield United, I mean, they finished 9th on 54 points, but Sheffield United are nowhere near as big a club as Leeds. And they have and what I'm trying to say, Rob, is we have this model in place where we are going to be getting elite players. And we've seen that already with Rafinha, with Koch, with Llorente, with Rodrigo. Sheffield United never made those strides. It was always just go up, compete, play good football, but they never invested. I mean, this season they brought in Ryan Brewster for 24 million. Leeds are just not going to do that.
This guy said, can we swap Bamford for Willian? Now, Willian's been terrible, we know, but Bamford, he's been exceptional, hasn't he? And a lot of people thought that he wouldn't be able to make the step up to this league.
Yeah, weird, Rob. I didn't at all. He scored 16 goals in the Championship. He's already got 12 in the Premier League, and he's scored 11 from open play. We talk about all these players. You look at someone like Bruno Fernandes, Harry Kane, all these players who score from the spot, which adds to the goal tallies. Bamford scored 11 from open play. I think we've had 2 other penalties, and they've been for a midfielder. Click's taken them out, midfielder, for some reason. But he's doing a phenomenal job. But that's all down to Bielsa, because he wasn't anywhere near that sort of player when Bielsa first came. But it seems to be, when he's reactionary, he's very good. When he thinks, there's a problem. So when he's in front of goal, he's instinctively very, very good. But when Bamford's got to think about a chance, that's when he'll undoubtedly screw up. You saw it against Crystal Palace when he was through on goal, had time to think, ballooned it over the bar. But instinctively, very good. We've
had many players like that at Arsenal. We've had many that the minute they've got to think about it for too long, it just doesn't happen. But I've got to say I'm happy for Bamford, because he became a bit of a... I'll be honest, he became a bit of a laughing stock at one point, didn't he? Sort of just a big brute up front. He'll do it in the Championship. He'll never make it in the Prem. He's actually proven to be a very classy striker. I mean, his performance against Leicester was... That's it. That's a complete forward, isn't it? Running in behind, assisting, weight of pass, great finish. He had it all. And he's really impressing me. And I can see why, obviously, as Arsenal fans, all we were hearing at the beginning of last season was, why isn't Nketiah playing? Every time he comes on, he scores. But what I like about Bielsa is he understands there's more to the goals. There's more than just the goals. There's the function for the team, and Bamford clearly has got that.
100%. Completely agree.
Yeah.
The game, of course, is you said when I came onto your channel that basically for Leeds it's just like a free hit, you feel, for Leeds. But with Arsenal, James, you think we're going to rest players for this game? Because, of course, we've got that big game against Benfica coming up on Thursday, and that's our absolute must-win. But then we don't want to lose this game because that would be 3 on the bounce. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon we rest players for this game?
Sorry, there was a slight lag in the stream there. Rest is it's not really the word I'd want to use, because rest suggests we're basically going to put out a weak team. That I don't think we'll do that. I think there'll be smart rotation in. Odegaard will come in for Smith Rowe, and I don't think that's necessarily weakening our team. It's just a very healthy alternative. Maybe a Aubameyang in for Lacazette, maybe Martinelli in for Pepe, or Martinelli in for Saka. And you'll see changes like that actually aren't leaving Arsenal any worse off. They're just playing players who maybe haven't had as many opportunities. Pablo Mari might come in. David Luiz might return. So, yeah, I think we'll see enough changes so that key players are getting a good enough rest ahead of Benfica. But I don't think we'll put out... I mean, the FA Cup tie where we lost to Southampton, Connor, I don't know how much you were following Arsenal fans. We all up in arms about the 11 he put out in that cup tie. I mean, we thought it was disgraceful, really, because he put out a bunch of out-of-form players. I don't think we'll see anything like that. I don't think we'll look at the 11 and go, well, you've surrendered it here. I think it'll still be a strong team with the right measured changes. Yeah, something like that, I imagine.
Yeah, and the thing with Arsenal is the beauty about your club is it's never as bad as it seems, fellas. It's never as bad as you think it is, because I've been to depths with my club, serious depths. But it's never as bad as you think, and you are a fantastic club, and you've got so much quality. Like me and Rob were speaking, and Tierney and Partey aren't in there, are not going to be available this weekend. But still, you can bring in players like Cedric, who was very, very good at Southampton only a couple of years ago, really. You've still got the likes of Dani Ceballos, who you can bring in central midfield. I still think Xhaka is such a good player. And I just think with Arsenal, there's just a missing ingredient, and we don't know what that is yet. But the sky's the limit for your club. It really, really is.
I needed to hear that, Connor.
Honestly, mate, it is. It's not a bad thing.
The missing ingredients are a billionaire owner who spends.
Yeah.
All right, so Connor, come on, give us your predictions. Give us your predictions for the game.
Am I allowed to do this, Rob? I don't know.
Yep.
Are you sure?
Listen, it's a stream, so there's no Arsenal fan. It ain't like when you come down by us and I've asked many people, "What's your prediction?" and they're surrounded by Arsenal fans. You're at home, so you're good.
That's it. I'm in the confines of my bedroom. It's fine. Yeah, mate. I think it's. I've said beforehand. I think this could be. We're very good away from home. We're very good on a big pitch. It all depends on if Calvin Phillips is fit. If Calvin Phillips is fit, I'm confident. I don't want to come in here and for everybody to think that I'm cocky and I'm overconfident, because I'm not. I'm genuinely not. It's just great to be a Leeds fan, and we've had 2 decades of this, guys. We've been in League One for 3 years. It's just great to be competing with the likes of Arsenal and the likes. But I think with the momentum, Rafinha, who's I've run out of relatives about this guy. So if he's on it and he's up against someone like Cedric, there's a big problem there, and I'm telling you that for a fact. He's scary. So if he's on it and Calvin Phillips is there, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Leeds win.
All right.
Sorry. So shall we leave now?
Yeah, that's your cue to go now, right? So, thank you very much, Connor. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on. And just before you go there, tell everybody about your channel, where they can find it.
Yeah, so it's One Leeds fan channel. You'll see it by this little bit of advertising I've got on here. But yeah, if you want to go check that out, guys, we've got all the Leeds content. We'll have the reaction to the Arsenal game as well. So yeah, make sure you check that out. And thank you, fellas, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Listen, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it, Connor. And yeah, listen, we look forward to doing loads more work in the future. Thank you very much.
Definitely. See you later, guys.
See you later, man.
That's Connor there. He's sounding pretty confident there, James, man. You know what I mean?
Way too confident. I'm so worried.
He sounded confident. He's a nice guy, though. He's a nice guy.
Great, yeah.
you can't begrudge a Leeds fan. Like he said, you know what I mean? After all those years, man, you know what I mean? Listen, when I was younger, Leeds, they're a huge, huge club with a huge, that's why I felt sorry for them that it's all behind closed doors, because trust me, their fan base is unreal.
Yeah.
They're very similar to Newcastle. They're the sort of team that will bring their full allocation, no matter, you know, if it's away, wherever, they're there. You know what I mean? They're passionate fans. So yeah, I think if they can stay in the division, which they're gonna do, and improve, and next season have their fans there as well, they're going to start being a serious proposition. They really
Absolutely.
are.
And I love what you just said about you not begrudging Leeds fans. And I do feel there's sections of the media at times who, you got those who maybe, lavish a little too much praise on Bielsa for certain things. But at the same time, he's done an absolutely unbelievable job. And, you know, to hear people going, oh, but it's humiliating to lose 6-2 at United. You know, in a one-off game, maybe, but in the context of the season, they're doing so well. Can we really be questioning their methods, the way they play the game? They entertain us all. No one, you know, when they lost 6-2 to United, I keep going back to that game. They could have scored 6 themselves, and that's kind of the beauty of them. And Robbie, me and you, we have watched some very entertaining Arsenal teams. So when we see this current team, which, okay, it's improving a little bit, but we can see it doesn't play the football we're used to, it hurts. We feel it. You know, we're not losing 2-1 at Wolves, but creating loads of chances, or Villa. We're losing playing very tepid football. And so I won't take anything away from Leeds. I think they're superb.
This guy says, guys, sorry, I can't read I'm not up on the Chinese writing. Right, so I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is, but biggie up anyway. And he says, guys, would you start Balogun? He looks hungry for goals. Do you think he can help? Now, you said to me, you've got some, you know, after listening to the press conference today, you had some very positive news on Balogun. Let's hear it.
This was Arteta's quotes broken up into 2, so I'll just bring it up here. So on Balogun, asked about sort of, you know, where his future may lie and stuff, he said, no, I'm still very positive that Flo is going to stay with us, and it's what we're trying to do as a club, and it's what I'm trying to do as a manager. The next bit of the quote, which I've got here, as far as I know from last week, the player wants to be here, so I'm positive. I think he's made some big progress in a few months. Now, I know that that's not him saying the contract's about to be signed or saying he's definitely going to. I know it's not any of that, but anyone who sort of follows Arteta's press conferences as religiously as I do will know he actually keeps his cards close to his chest. Remember when Aubameyang was sort of all but signed, you're still saying, you know, we're hopeful, but you never know till it's signed. He does the same with signing players and all that. So actually, for him to speak that positively about Balogun and to literally be saying he wants to stay, we want him to stay, we'll see, that I think speaks volumes of maybe how much the situation's progressed in the last month. Whereas in mid-Jan, it looked like actually he was probably on his way out. So I'd say that's positive progress, personally.
Yeah, well,
no, you're not as convinced as I am. Robbie's not as convinced.
It's positive, but we already know that Balogun wants to stay. He's been saying that for quite a while. I don't want to leave, but I want game time. I want to play. And he ain't playing. So I don't know. It's not fully positive.
Yeah, but I think to be saying that he's positive about the situation, he's positive. I just think I think Arteta's proven to be very well media trained. I don't think I think he knows exactly what he's saying and when he's saying it. So I think if the situation was more 50-50, he'd probably be saying, we're working on it. We're in no rush. He's a young player. We don't need to put pressure on him. He'd be saying all that stuff that we've heard before. So I think to be saying that he's feeling positive about it and he wants to stay and all that, I think is a good sign.
Yeah, I guess. By the way, Karen says to me, that ain't Chinese. And Dirty Sanchez says, that was Korean, you racist. Right? I'm like, listen, man. I'm not being racist. Jesus. I thought it was Chinese writing. I apologize, right? I didn't realize it was Korean. My apologies, right? Unfortunately, I don't speak Chinese or Korean. So maybe I shouldn't have judged. that it was Chinese writing. But you know what I mean? That normally that type of writing, no, Robbie, don't even. I was going to say it's associated with, it's like a Chinese style. I'm digging myself into more trouble here. Sorry. Right. But I wish I did. I remember when I went to China and I went into a restaurant and they gave me the menu. And like, that's one, you know, you go to other countries sometimes and you can kind of make certain words. You're like, oh, you know what? That looks like they're saying chicken, or that looks like. But when you're in China, their writing is so different to everybody else's, right? That to what we have over in the UK, that I couldn't make out anything. And then I said to the woman, "Have you got an English one, an English menu?" And she said, "No."
Oh, how'd that go?
But fortunately, I found this thing on your app where you scan over it.
Yeah, it's a great app.
It's unbelievable. I scanned over it and it was translated it all for me. It's brilliant. But the food
that's amazing. I did a year of Mandarin at school, and it was. I mean, it's so difficult.
How comes you couldn't help me out there? How comes you couldn't help me?
I did a year of Mandarin like 10 years ago.
You're supposed to help me out there and tell me straight away that's not Chinese before I get myself into trouble and start being accused of being racist.
Well, I didn't.
You done Mandarin and you couldn't help me out there.
Hey, listen. I'm not getting involved in this.
Oh, but I apologize. Right, I did think I did assume it was Chinese writing, but it's I've been told it's Korean. Where's that comment there? So there's this one. Cancel Robbie. And here's one from the real Giannis. He says, "So Don Robbie, I met you in Dubai. You gave me an AFTV shirt before the meet and greet started." Okay, well, brilliant, proper gentleman. Also, James does not look like Harry Potter. Right, so big up Gianni. Living it up in Dubai. I wish I was in Dubai right now. I'll tell you that. The only thing is you wouldn't be able to get back because they're not letting you back now. But getting back onto the football, you know. This weekend, do you rest? I mean, it's a weird one because we all know that game against Benfica is the bigger game. If we get knocked out of that, that's it. With the season's over, really.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, if we lose to Leeds, that's 3 on the bounce. Then after that, we got to play Man City. Then after that, we've got to play Leicester. We need a win on Sunday. Something to change the mood.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worry. That is the worry. You just summed up brilliantly, right? Because Robbie out. Sorry. You summed up brilliantly there because if we lose, okay, what does it really mean for our Premier League season? Probably not that much. And ultimately, as you said, Benfica is more important. But the next games in the league are so difficult that you can, just as quickly as when we were winning games, we were climbing that table, you can start slipping back down. Because Palace have been recording some decent results. Newcastle have won a few games. And suddenly you don't want to get sucked back into that conversation. We've not hit 40 points yet. We're not guaranteed survival. Okay, so, no, look, the league season might be, okay, we might not get European places. I think we all accept that as a fan base. But in the context of everything, the finish still needs to be respectable. By respectable, I mean not a complete disaster. Would we be happy with 10th, 9th? No, absolutely not. But you swallow it as a bad season in transition. Chelsea have finished 10th many times and gone on to win the league the year after or whatever. It's keeping it, if we finish 13th, 14th, I mean, that is really bad. So that's what Arteta's got to manage as well.
Yeah.
Difficult one.
Yeah, no, sorry. Some of the comments that just make me laugh.
Yeah, they're still going at you, Rob.
Hashtag Robbie the racist and stuff.
Oh, no.
This one's funny. Robbie's the AFTV Nigel Farage. Oh, you guys are brilliant, man. I love you guys, man. You are brilliant, right? I would never do that again. I would never make an assumption on what is Chinese writing or what is Korean writing, Japanese writing. And I've got a guy here who studied Mandarin and couldn't help me out. Left me get myself into trouble with all the Korean fans now.
Hold on.
You know,
I studied Mandarin for 1 year when I was like
you
13.
should be. If you studied Mandarin, if I couldn't speak English, and I studied English for 1 year, right? I would know straight away. I might not know what it said, but I'd be able to look at that straight away and say that is definitely English, or it's not. You know.
Are you serious?
Oh. And this guy's back again. He goes, "Sorry, Robbie, it's Korean, and actually, I'm Ugandan, staying in Korea. That's my name, Lekenge Ricky." Okay, Lekenge, respect. Thanks for getting me in trouble, but big up all the Koreans. And whilst you're down there, tell all the Koreans to stop supporting Tottenham, because I know a load of them support Tottenham because they love Son.
Yeah.
But no, big up yourself, man. Thanks for that comment. I really, really appreciate it. Robbie moving like Katie Hopkins. Jesus. Oh man, you guys.
Oh, what a turn this has taken, eh?
Yeah, what a turn it's taken. It's massive. It's massive. The game at the weekend, because we cannot afford to lose it. But do you rest players for the game?
Yeah. I mean, as I was saying to Connor, what I think will happen is what I would do as well, which is, you give Smith Rowe a rest, you play Odegaard, you maybe bring Holding out, you play Louise, maybe Mari, you manage it at a point where you're not seriously weakening the team. If you want to rest Saka, fine, but make sure Pepe and Martinelli are playing. And I don't know if you saw the live yesterday with Mo, who had a few quite hilarious things to say about Willian, as you can imagine from Mo. But I don't mean to pile on any more on him. But if I see Saka's not playing or Willian's playing, that will dishearten me, because I don't feel Arsenal's future is Willian. I don't feel he's done anything this season to be worthy of playing more. But if you see a Martinelli, you feel that at least that game time is going towards kind of the greater cause. So that's kind of what I want to see. It's same with, I feel bad saying it, but same with Nketiah, really. Do I really believe that Eddie Nketiah is the future of Arsenal? I'm not convinced yet. So I'd rather see Aubameyang, who we know if he finds form is a world-class striker. I'd rather see him get the minutes up front than Nketiah brought in just for the sake of Lacazette getting a rest. So that's what I'm looking for from Arteta.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? And as well, I think it's very important to start Aubameyang in that game, because we got to get him back up to speed, because we're going to need him in those games against Benfica.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need. Those are the games when you need your top quality strikers. He's been off form. We're gonna need him. We're gonna need him.
And he was massive in Emery's run to the final. Let's not forget him and Lacazette were huge. The goals they scored, the turnaround against Rennes at the Emirates, and all those things. So, Aubameyang can do it at this level. We just need him to find form.
It's going to be really difficult, and there's a lot of difficult games coming up. Somebody earlier, they put a comment in. I haven't been able to find it, but they put a comment in where they said, "What do you think of the abuse that Mikel Arteta and his family's received?" I know that he spoke about that in his press conference. Said that he's had terrible abuse to him and his family. We saw the referee Mike Dean saying he's not refereeing any games this weekend because of the abuse that he got after his listen, it was a poor decision, but nobody deserves that abuse. What was Arteta saying about that in the press conference?
God, yeah, no, I wish I had the exact quotes to hand, but I mean, essentially the tone that we're all reflecting, which is, if you want to be critical, fine. If you don't like something and you want to voice it, that's fine. But the minute it becomes abuse, and there is a fine line, and I think some people think, you know what, it's just a comment. I'll just say it. They might use certain language or certain tones to address someone. I'll give you an example, right? I'm not completely and utterly sold on Bellerin right now, the way he's performing. And I think there's a way you can relay that, and saying, I'm not sure about his performances. I think he's struggling with this. The foul throws are frustrating. But the minute you say Bellerin is, and you throw in suddenly you're crossing that abuse line. And it's disgusting. We're seeing it more and more. We're seeing it when it's, racial abuse for black footballers. We've seen recently. We've seen, Arteta speaking about it. And actually, it's very rare you hear managers speaking about the abuse they're feeling. So it's been it's been magnified more. I think Facebook said that Instagram was going to, put systems in place to try and stop it, but they need to do more. Twitter needs to do more. Everyone needs to do more, because it's a disgrace, because we've got what it takes to stop this. We have the technology. We can stop this, not stop it in full, but we can limit it significantly. And that's the most disappointing thing. So it's great to see our manager speaking about it. And any fans out there who are abusing anyone, but especially I'm talking in the Arsenal fan base, Arteta, your players or whatever, I mean, go get a life, because it's just disgusting.
Yeah, it has been disgusting. And, listen, there's nothing wrong with fans having a go at Mikel Arteta. There's nothing wrong with fans saying that they feel that he's not the right guy for the job, if that's what you feel. There's nothing wrong with you having a go at Willian for his poor performances. There's nothing wrong with you having a go at any player for their poor performances. But like you said, is when you cross that line, when you start, I mean, what's his family got to do with it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A joke.
What's his family got to do? Why are people, even the one last week with Mike Dean? I mean, listen, I don't rate him as a referee. I think he's made some horrendous decisions, not this season, but over seasons. But why are people threatening his, what's his family got to do with it? Why are you even threatening to kill him? What's that going to do?
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
And this is happening more and more. And every week, every week these things come up and we talk about it. If it's racial abuse, we talk about it. If it's this sort of abuse, we talk about it. And then you think to yourself that everybody's going to be, move on from it. It's going to be fine. And everyone's going to, the people who are doing that are going to change. And then by the next week, it's the same thing all over again. Yeah. I really don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? If you have a negative stance on Arsenal and you spread negativity in your opinion, okay, I like to be a more positive person. I like to look at the things that are going well. But fine, if you're negative and you feel a negativity about your club, you're absolutely entitled to feel that. No one's got a problem with that. But the word abuse, it really shouldn't be that difficult to understand the difference between negativity, criticism, disappointment, and then abuse. That is different. And actually, I think on the whole, players and managers and everyone in the game deal with that quite well. But it's good to see them speaking out on it. I do appreciate that more. I think it will start to, I don't know, hopefully spark some more conversations like this one about it.
Definitely. Well, listen, we're coming towards the end of the show right now, so I haven't had your prediction yet for the game against Leeds.
Yeah. So I'm actually trying to be quite positive about it. I want to go for 3-2 to Arsenal.
Ooh,
reason being, I think there'll be goals in it. I think it's gone a little not under the radar, but I don't think people are appreciating actually quite the work Arteta's done on our defense in the last year. I think Turkish said it brilliantly. Over a calendar year, it's some of the best numbers we've put up for a while. So credit to him for that. I think knowing that will make it difficult for Leeds, but nevertheless, it'll be an open game because that's how they play. And I think it'll be a bit end-to-end. So I'm going to go for 3-2.
I'm sticking with my 2-1. What do you guys think out there? Let us know. But listen, thanks very much for watching the show tonight. Listen, do not forget, tomorrow there is a video dropping on AFTV called Valentine's Day. If you don't do anything else tomorrow, you have to watch that. It's one of the. I've seen some of it already. It is hilarious, right? So make sure you watch that tomorrow. Valentine's Day. Of course, the game we're playing on Sundays on Valentine's Day. So we thought we'd do something around that, and it's hilarious. So make sure you check that out, and don't forget to check out my brand new channel, the Don Robbie channel. We've been blown away by the response from the first couple of videos that have come out on that. It's all football and sports. So jump on and subscribe to that channel as well. And thank you very much to you, James. We're here every single day. Of course, James will be back with a full preview of all the stats and everything around the game on Sunday morning. Make sure you check that out as well. And the All Guns Blazing podcast dropping tomorrow morning as well. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll be back tomorrow.